Good morning, children. I hope you all are fine. Today we will read about chapter number 4 Electoral Politics of Civics. In this chapter, we will read about why do we need elections? What makes an election democratic? Is it good to have political competition? And what is our system of elections? Let's start the chapter. In the very beginning, one incident is given of Haryana. In this state, the Congress party was ruling from last 5 years and the people were unhappy with the existing government. At this time, Devi Lal, the opposition leader, led a movement called Nyaya Yudh or the struggle for justice, and he formed a new party known as Lok Dal. During election campaign, Devilal said that if his party won the election, his government would waive the loans of farmers and small businessmen. So the people were influenced by his policies. During election, they casted their vote in favor of Devilal, and his party got clear majority in this election. They got 60 seats out of 90. So they formed their government and this party ruled the state for next 4 years. The next election were held in 1991, but this time his party did not won popular support. The Congress won the election and formed the government. So children, this incident tells you about democracy, that in democracy no one is permanent. Anyone or any leader can be changed at any time. There are many people who says that the simple definition of democracy is by the people, to the people and for the people. Then why do we need others to make policies for us? Why don't we should make our policies for ourselves? But this is not possible as the countries are very large. There are different type of communities in it. People, they belong to different religion, caste, etc. For this, we need our representative who will rule, who will govern on behalf of us. That's why we need elections. Through the elections, we have the right to choose our representatives. So, what is election? Elections is a mechanism by which people can choose their representative at regular intervals and change them if they wish to do so. Okay, children? So, elections are considered very important. In elections, the voters make many choices. They can choose who will make laws for them. They can choose who will form the government and take major decisions. They can choose the party whose policies will guide the government and lawmaking. What makes an election democratic? How do we distinguish democratic elections from any other elections? What are the minimum conditions of democratic elections? First is everyone should be able to choose. That means that everyone should have one vote and every vote should be of equal value. There are many countries where people's vote do not have equal value. So, according to a universal adult franchise, The people who completed the certain age should be allowed to give vote, and the vote should be of equal value. Next is there should be something to choose from. Parties and candidates should be free to contest elections and should offer some real choice to the voters. What does real choice means? Dear children, do you remember example of China which you have read in your last chapters? In China, only Communist Party is contesting election and other parties are considered to be illegal. They are not allowed to contest election. So this situation should not be there in democracy. All should have uh, this much of freedom that they can stand in election. Next is the choice should be offered at regular intervals. That means that election should held after some time. There should be time limit for elections. Election must be held regularly after every few years. Like in Ghana, what they did, that if one person he is elected as president, he refused to contest election again. He said, if one time I am elected as president, now I will be president for the next coming years. So this should not be there. There should be regular elections after every fixed time limit. Next is the candidate preferred by the people should get elected. This means to whom we have elected should be declared as leader, that the person who got highest number of vote should be declared as leader. And last is election should be conducted in a free and fair manners where people can choose as they really wish. That means people should be allowed to choose. Our next topic is it good to have political competition? No, I don't think so, because such political competition often leads to disunity and disputes. Different political parties leader they often use dirty tricks to win elections. Some people say that this pressure to win electoral fights does not allow sensible long-term policies to be formulated. And there are many people who wish to serve the country, they do not even enter this arena. So how we can deal with this situation in real life? There is one way to deal with it, that is by rewarding and punishing the leaders. So how we can reward or punish any leader? See children, on next page one cartoon is given to you. So how we can reward a leader? By giving our most important vote in favor of him. And how we can punish him? By not giving our vote. The cartoon on the left side shows you the situation before election, where the voter is the most important because he has to cast his vote in favor of any other leader. So all the leaders of different political parties will come to him and they will try to influence him. And the cartoon on the right side shows you the situation after election. Now, the poor voter who is influenced by the policies of the leaders is waiting for all that promises to be fulfilled. But then also the choice is with us, because when after the in during next election, when again this leader come to us for our vote, we can punish him. How? By not giving our vote to him. So this is a very important part or right you can say with the voters, that a voter can punish as well as reward any leader. Thank you so much, students. We will continue the next part of our chapter in our next video.